Hey guys, it's Mark Ling here, and I've got with me an amazing guest. His name's Chris Reeder, and before now, going back a couple of years, he'd been doing a lot of affiliate marketing on with Facebook ads and doing pretty well. Okay, so we're not going all the way back to when he got started. We'll say like a couple of years back. He was doing pretty well as an affiliate marketer, Facebook ads, and was even utilized by Rob and Gary as a coach one-on-one for some of the top students that have come through Rob and Gary's program teaching Facebook marketing. All came through Chris, because Chris was able to coach them all the way to even higher success. So he's had a lot of success with himself and with students, but in recent times he's gone in with his business partner Keegan. He's gone and delved into YouTube ads instead, doing video ads that promote affiliate products. Slightly different method, not too different, but a little bit different, enough different that it's important to pay attention here. And is absolutely crushing it. And actually at the moment, it's kind of like rewinding back the clock with Facebook, because you can make good money on Facebook ads now, but it was easier if you go back 3-4 years. And it's kind of like that with YouTube right now for various reasons that you'll discover on this call. Now, his number one day as an affiliate, he earned over $74,000 in commissions. We were just discussing this before the call, and his average amount he's making at the moment is $47,500 a week. It's his weekly average in commissions. So I think that, it's pretty exciting. It's almost unbelievable to some people. So, we'll make sure that we don't just talk about numbers. We'll talk about methods and how it all works, and how to start from a low budget and all of that. We'll talk about that shortly. But first of all, I just want to introduce you guys to Chris Reeder. Welcome along, Chris.
Yeah, hey everyone, it's a pleasure to be here on you. And I remember actually meeting you, Mark Ling, at one of the conferences of Rob and Gary. That's the first time we ever met a couple of years ago.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and you're smashing it then, and even more so now, which is amazing. Yeah. And you're based obviously in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, near Sydney, yeah.
Cool. And let's just qualify those numbers for a second, just so people are aware. Like, you're making $47,500 a week on average. What sort of percentage is profit out of that? Because you're spending, it's a spend money on ads to make money type model, right?
Yeah. So we do paid traffic, right? Because that's what we figure is the best affiliate model, right? Because you can control the flow of your traffic. So on average, I'm getting around, I would say on average, 100% ROI.
So ROI means return on investment.
Return on investment, right? So out of that 47,000, I made 23,500 profit in that week, right? On average.
And that's an average. That some weeks will be 20 and some will be 25, right? It's a
yeah, in profit, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a rough average. And that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
Some people out there are going to say, I don't have 20-something thousand to spend on ads. If I can only spend $500 a week, is there a hope for me? Can I make $1,000 a week out of 500 a week?
Yeah, I actually just interviewed one of our students in our beta cell group that we've had since we had the business model. Me and Keegan, we wanted to prove it across a scale of people, of course. So one of these guys I actually met through Instagram, and I offered him the opportunity to join in. And he's also from Australia. He works like a traditional job, actually cleaning ovens part-time. And we were just discussing with him how he was just using his cash in his bank. So he started with like $50 to $100 a day. And he actually told me from his first ads that he started launching and testing, he was breaking even from the get-go. So he never actually lost money. Of course, there's a spectrum of it, right? But this is this guy's example. And he went from spending 50 to 100 a day, making, break even, to scaling into his winning ad and optimizing, to doing rolling his profits into his ads, doing 500 in spend a day. And on average now he's been making 1,000 in revenue a day and 500 in profit. And over the last 2 weeks, he's done $6,000 US, which to him, that's like more than 2 months wage, or more than 3 months wage. I think he was telling me he made in 2 weeks, right?
Where's he from? Sorry, he's from Australia, but was he
Brisbane? He's from Brisbane, Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
Still, that's pretty amazing. But that's more of a typical story as well when we talk about this stuff, because not we get that not everyone out there is going to be able to spend massive amounts straight away. It's a cycle though. Most people that start in this stuff start with very little, but you spend more from the money that you've actually made. So the whole key to doing really well, like bigger numbers, like 1,000 a day, we try to get people to 1,000 a day. That is a reinvestment model. Like you've got to not take the first $500 that you've just made and go spend it and go buy something. You put it straight back into your business to run more ads, because you know that ad is converting, you know the rate it's making sales at. You just need to spend more so that you can get more visitors to see it and hence make more.
Yeah, well, another good story is Francisco. So Francisco is actually from Chile. So English is his third language, and he was able to leverage this business model, which we can discuss more in depth, the 3 steps. So he's from Chile, not native English speaker. His average yearly wage is like 20 grand or something. He was telling me a month they make like $200 or something, right? Something really low, especially for his age. And he's gone along and was doing $500 a day in profit and actually scaled up to $14,000 in a day in revenue at 150% ROI through doing the rolling method, through scaling his stuff. So for him, he actually took another, like I'll just mention this because it's a part of his story, which is inspiring. During lockdown, when everyone was just sort of, I guess, like in his country, getting government paychecks and sort of just watching Netflix, he actually made concrete weights and sold those to build up funds to support himself running this business model. So that's just a pretty interesting creative story.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I guess first of all, people are going to be wondering, like, what is the method? Like how, like it's a blue ocean strategy. Maybe explain to people what a blue ocean is first, and then we'll look at what your 3-phase strategy is.
So yeah, my definition of a blue ocean is something that I guess has never been done before, in terms of, you might have a lake or a blue ocean, right, that no one's fished in, right? So there's an abundance of buyers, there's an abundance of opportunity. And, even though there might be people fishing in it currently, to some extent, you're using like a new method or a new way of doing it. So sort of like when they first brought in like commercial fishing or something, right? As like an analogy compared to a regular fishing pole. So yeah, we leverage YouTube, right? Because we figured that YouTube is growing at one of the fastest paces ever compared to some Facebook and some other platforms. The amount of watch time on YouTube is just blowing through the roof if you look at the stats, especially during coronavirus and the lockdown and stuff. So the method we do is we actually leverage AI voices, right? Because we figured people I didn't want to be on camera speaking, first of all. So when we first started running, we created these videos, right? So you've got the hook and then you've got the script, only like a minute or 2 video. And the hook is the most important to grab their attention before they skip through. And then it just discusses the problem they have and provides the solution and benefit. So that's the video, right? We initially tested that using real voices through different outsourcing networks and even our own voices. And it was going okay. But when we actually hit our big breakthrough in testing this business model is when we used AI voices. So a lot of people might think that's how does that convert better? But through all our testing, the AI voices performed way better. And it also allowed us to make scripts independent of anyone else. We could just make scripts really fast, test different hooks and tweak. So that's for the base, the first step, right? The video.
Right.
From then, what we do is we then run it to a landing page. So if you're familiar with online marketing, you're probably familiar with a landing page.
Yeah.
What we do then is we focus on getting like a 60% plus click-through rate. And for YouTube ads, it's very easy to get a really high click-through rate because they're already in the mode of watching a video. So they're already committed to spending some time. So you just give a brief curiosity script that we give everyone templates of. They click through the landing page to the offer. And what the best thing about affiliate marketing business model, you know, is actually all you need to do is that. You just need to do those 2 steps, but the third step is already done for you. And that's just choosing the best offer. So on these networks, you can select any of the top offers. They're all there, known. And what's awesome is you don't really have to do any of the selling on that. Once they're there, there's already been like a millionaire who spent hundreds of thousands of dollars creating a video sales letter that sells for you. So the whole goal is just to get as much traffic as you can to that video sales letter and then let that sell them. So that's really the key, the 3 steps.
What I want to do at the moment is I just want to show people just in case they haven't seen a demonstration of this before, because I don't know I've shown it on 1 or 2 other interviews I've done, but not everyone would have necessarily seen those. So I'm just going to take 30 seconds and just show you really quickly, people, what an artificial voice might sound like.
Yeah. And the thing is, once you really start running with the business model while you're setting that up, is to begin with, when you jump in, you might think, oh, a bit iffy about the voices. But at the end of the day, once you're making ROI, that's all that really matters for us, you know? And we don't, even though traditionally you might think, oh, it sounds worse than a real voice, at the end of the day, we just want to run whatever makes us the most money. So
yeah, well, have a listen to this, guys.
Hey, Chris, I'm an artificial voice. What do you think? Do you think people would listen to me? Do you think they'd even notice the difference?
Yeah, so that was me just putting my microphone up to the computer, by the way. So it'll sound even better if you actually used the file coming through the speakers. I mean, through the computer. That's, you know, but sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like, yeah, it sounds good. There's different accents you can use, which have different angles and stuff. But the biggest thing is as well, what I think the voices work the best is because the voices in themselves are like a pattern interrupt, because sometimes people might not even notice they're an AI voice, but I think most people do. But at the end of the day, since it's just the ad, that's all that's really necessary. So it acts as a pattern interrupt. And since it's like presentation style, people don't really mind since the hooks are so strong.
It's what's said that matters the most. It's more what matters. They say it, how you say it makes a big difference, but that's more so in a longer sales letter. We're talking like a 60-second ad here, maybe 90 seconds at the longest. They're short, and they generate, it's not even just the voice that you generate though, is it? You use special software that automatically, you just put your script in there and it automatically puts all the video footage in there using stock footage for you. You might swap out 1 or 2 bits of stock footage for a different image here and there, and you press a button and you've made your video.
Yeah, so that's what's really awesome about this business model. I mean, I've done Facebook before. I've talked to a lot of people that have done different business models like social media marketing agencies or e-commerce or all that sort of stuff. But with this business model, like, it's honestly so simple. And the stuff that you need to focus on is just the 2 steps. The biggest one being the video. And as Mark just said, right, we use a video software where we punch in, we already have proven scripts as well, right? So we put in our proven scripts. We might change a couple words, a couple of angles of the
insert
offer.
the benefit here, insert
and then
or something. Yeah,
exactly. So we already have like tons of pre-written scripts that everyone in our beta cell has been using and crushing with, and we just import the script onto the video editing software. It automatically structures it as a video, and it gives us all the stock footage to plop in, right? So you've got, you know, this powerful thing helps you like melt body fat overnight, and you have a photo of someone looking like really confident in the mirror or standing on a scale, right? So they're all generated based on the keywords, and you just select it. It takes me like 30 minutes to make a video.
Yeah, it's really fast, and we've seen people that have very little experience do really well with it. So that's pretty amazing. Some people, they're going to say this almost sounds too good to be true. I mean, you've got basically script writing software for people that they can fill in the blanks, create great scripts. You've got offers ready to promote. They don't even have to be in front of the camera. Artificial voice generates the video, and then even the landing pages, like the page that they go to on your site, that is also our templates that you can just simply and we've got like over a dozen of those that they can just put it in, fill in the blanks, put their affiliate link in. It's almost too simple and too straightforward. What are the common problems that I mean, obviously you've had you must have had 20 plus people beta test the program now. I know the success rate's been pretty high. It's probably been everyone has succeeded, I think. What have been the problems though? Well,
just to discuss on the simple business model. Just to discuss on the simple business model is like, because we came from Facebook. We're originally Facebook marketers, and we wanted a method. Facebook's getting a little bit more advanced now, still works and stuff, but we wanted a new method because no one had been doing this business model on YouTube, right? And the way we figured it is YouTube is such a big, as we already mentioned, such a big traffic source. So we wanted to just stick what we know works, right? And what's good about our system, and coming from Rob and Gary's course, which I originally joined to have my success, is we know that the best affiliate marketing model is literally, the way I like to think of it is like, you've got high converting offers, the VSLs, right? So that's the third step. The way I think of it is all you need to do is turn on the tap and get traffic to that offer. So whatever way you can get traffic to that offer, if you get 1,000 people, you get 10,000, you get 100,000, you're going to make money. So we figured, let's just sort of find the quickest, most efficient way to hook someone's attention through a video, and then just get them to that VSL as quick as possible. And speaking to Ricky, one of the guys in our beta cell group that did the 5,000, 6,000 in 2 weeks, he originally came from an affiliate marketing blog side of things, where he said that he used to spend hours writing blogs and SEO ranking and all this sort of stuff to generate some income. But he compared that to this, is like, he can make one video in so quick that converts way better, makes him way more money than what he's done prior. And it honestly kind of seems unbelievable, but at the end of the day, it's what's been working.
Well, I'll also reveal to people that YouTube, and this is just one video place, you could actually use this on another video platform, to be perfectly honest. You could run video ads on other places, but YouTube, they served over 50 billion ads last month. 50 billion. So that's a lot of ads. I know that all of that ad space is targeted that you're going to want to use, but it's impossible for us, for us and our little group of people to saturate this. Can't even be a drop in the bucket. I think they pulled in like out of that like $9 billion or something in revenue last month, or something like that, 7 billion or 9 billion or something. That's amazing. That's a huge amount of money. So all of our ad spend put together isn't even 0.01 of 0.01% of that. We're nowhere near, we wouldn't even saturate it if we were to multiply all our ad spend together by 1,000, we wouldn't even still be 1% of the advertisers. So it's just so hard for people to understand just how big the world is and how many offers that there are that are doing well. And one of the offers that you promoted, what excited me was that it was not one of the top offers out there on, I think you used ClickBank in this case. You've used MaxWeb and other networks, but in this case it was a ClickBank product. It was like number 150 something. And between you and Keegan and a couple of the beta testers, you took it all the way up to number 3 in the space of a few weeks.
Yeah, we actually generated,
and it has to make thousands of sales a day to be number 3. You can't make number 3 without making over 1,000 sales a day. Doesn't get, because number 150, I know I've got some offers at number 150 something that are making me 15,000 a week as the vendor. I know even there, they're still good offers. However, to get from there to number 3, that must have, that's impressive.
And that was just our group as well. And what's cool about that, to discuss the saturation sort of thing, is we had 3 or 4 people doing $20,000 to $50,000 a day on that offer. And we had everyone else in the group that are like the smaller people doing like 500 to like 3,000. So that's just all of us running one offer, right? And to think that there could be saturation.
And it was the number 150 something offer. It wasn't like you
were
like, let's pick one of the top few offers. You picked one of those ones.
And that's just to sort of prove that there was 3 people, just to talk about the big fish in our group, there was 3 people doing like 30 to 50K a day each on that without any saturation issues or anything at all. And to also discuss the question you asked about the simplicity of it is like, when we first joined, right, we actually thought we overcomplicated it. So when we first started diving into YouTube and playing around with it, it was a little bit difficult because we were testing so much stuff. We were testing real voices. We were doing all this stuff. But then once we figured out like, hey, it's actually that simple, that all we need to do is just run the video landing page, even the targeting, all this stuff, you know, that people might be familiar with. What worked, like, it might sound crazy, but what worked the best is like, we just targeted broad. We didn't do any targeting. We just let the algorithm, we just leveraged the algorithm to basically find all the buyers, right? So we just kept it really that simple.
And by the way, guys, listening to this, that doesn't mean that that's right for every niche. It means that if you pick, though, a niche or an offer that has a very broad, how do I say it? It is, it has mass market appeal, then that's all you need to do, because YouTube figures it out for you quite quickly who is spending time watching the video and then who are obviously buying the product, and they want to send you more of those kind of people because they want you making sales, because if you're making sales, you're spending more money. That's exactly how it all works. However, you know, I will say that I know that, say, if it was a kitschy niche, like let's say it was something to do with, I don't know, being the ultimate table tennis player, you probably may find that you need to target either people that play table tennis or watch table tennis videos, or you may need to target at least people in countries where table tennis is one of their top 3 sports in that country, and they're in that demographic where people are still playing. I'm just thinking out loud there.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, to discuss some more of that stuff is like, with YouTube, there's topics, right? So really overarching stuff, and they're so refined. Like the algorithm knows exactly who's into like health, who's into, you know, even diabetes, who's into like any of the major sort of niches out there. There's a topic in there you can target and just get direct customers to that way.
Yeah. And especially if you've got lower ad spend, for some people, I know one of the guys I interviewed that's been part of this beta testers, he said that even though you guys taught him to go wider, he had lower ad budget to start with. So he did decide to target, and he was getting 150% return on investment up to 200%. So he got a little bit higher return, but he said he can't scale he can't just go spending $20,000 tomorrow on ads because he's got these smaller little audiences. So, but he could still spend enough. So, exactly. You know, there's both ways work, but it's exciting that you don't have to know targeting. You don't have to get it right. The main thing that you get right is that if you write the ad the way that you teach it, then the right kind of person will watch it.
Exactly. Because that's so true, because I mean, you don't even, with YouTube as well, what's amazing is you don't even pay unless they watch the video. So if they skip within the first 5 seconds, I think it's even 15, you don't pay. So what you do is, you call out their problem. You call out with the hook, something really specific to the person that you want. And then you've got that buyer. And if they're not that buyer, they skip, and then you don't pay for it.
Like you could say, this bitter substance that you put in your mouth once a day stops blood sugar spikes. I'm just going to make that up. It's probably not quite right. Probably shorten that a little bit, but you're basically saying this something has this benefit.
Well, you could even just say, hey, are you struggling with XYZ?
That too. Ask them about, do they have this problem? If they say no, they will hit skip.
Yeah.
If they say yes, they'll listen to the next sentence.
Yeah. So, and YouTube's also pretty cool because, I mean, whenever I have a problem, I search for it on YouTube, right? So if there are people, you can search, there's YouTube channels out there, you know, with diabetes related topics. So there's people out there watching YouTube videos for their ailments or for their issues, and they're all on there, and you can target them, you know, they're all on there, and you give them the.
Yeah. You know, it's a little creepy about it though. I mean, it's not that bad, but they're owned by Google. So I could be, let's say I was diabetic and I typed in stuff like, how do I balance my blood sugar levels? Best fruits for balancing blood sugar. I'm searching Google here. And then I jump onto YouTube to go watch some video to do with let's say I play squash, so sometimes I watch squash videos from top players playing and stuff like that. So I'm watching that, and next thing I know, I'll see an ad say for a diabetes thing. Why? Because I was on Google, because Google and YouTube communicate because they're owned by the same people. So there's so many smart ways they have of,
and that's why, and I think that's why this business model has just absolutely been crushing it, honestly. Because I mean, coming from other business models, speaking to other people, just leveraging the algorithm, right? So like most of the people that have their massive days, whether it's their, $1,000 profit or even $20,000, $30,000 profit in a day, which there's a scale, right? So you can scale up massively. They use one video. Like for me, for example, I had one video spending like, 5 to 10 grand in one day. So just one ad account, one video, spending that much money. And with Google, they as you said, they want you to get buyers because they want you to scale. So they actually constantly tell you, hey, you should up your budget. Hey, you should up your budget, right? Even if it's at 2,000, 5,000, they're trying to get you to sell more, because what we found is once you have a winning video, you can scale it as much as you can. Like people have gone from spending like $1,000 to $5,000 in one day, getting their profits consistent.
But I think in society, the average person is programmed to have a glass ceiling over how much money they can make. They see all of their friends having a glass ceiling as well, so they don't realize that it's even there. And they get programmed to think that right from school age, you get a job, you work your way up, you get paid dollars per hour, and then you put money in the bank and you earn your 1% interest. Even money doesn't even work for you, even in the bank. But the real way to make money, and I think everyone really knows that if you really ask yourself, if you're really honest with yourself, spending money to make money. That's the only way. Like money, even the company that you work for, they probably spend money to make money. They're spending money on your wages. They are spending money on inventory or something like that. They're spending money on advertising. That's how the money is made. They don't, unless you're a law firm, I guess that could be charged out dollars per hour, but it's super high. That's a different model. But most models, 95% of them, it's charging a premium, spend money, make money. And if you really want to get ahead in this world, you have to find a way to take money and make it work for you. And that's where this is so exciting.
Well, I mean, I'm 22 for everyone watching, so I'm young, right? And for me, I came out of that world a couple years ago. Like when I first met you at that conference, was like, I had just quit my university degree because I knew I could see the path through my future. Like I get a degree, I'm going to work a job and I'm going to get paid a wage. So the question I asked myself was, do I want to get a degree and do I want to get paid a wage? And I realized, like, looking out at the internet marketing space, there's people out there that don't have a job, they don't have a degree, and they make way more money than anyone working a job could have. So that's what put me on my mission for that. And once the way I figured it, and the reason why I love affiliate marketing is like, there's millions of dollars and billions of dollars. There's billions of dollars flowing through the economy every day. People buying health supplements, people buying advice, people buying all this stuff. All you need to do really is just, turn the siphon on and just siphon some of that traffic and some of that money into
be the middleman.
Yeah. And that's what we're doing. There's billions of dollars being spent. There's billions of watch time on YouTube. All we're doing is just inserting ourselves here to whatever degree you want and just letting that traffic and that money flow to you.
There's so many companies where they know how to make a great product. They know how to make that product convert highly, but their business model is not to also go ahead and learn how to do advertising and all of that stuff. They could go ahead and do that, but they may be paying the same amount as they pay in affiliate commissions because they can't focus on everything. They can't. So by lack of focus, they may end up spending just as much. So they find it easier to go, screw it. We're going to pay 75% commission. Sometimes it's even 90% commission. We're just going to pay X amount commission because we're happy with our profit percentage being this number over here. And sometimes they even lose money to acquire a customer because they know that their product is so good, people will buy more of it 3 months from now, that kind of thing.
And that's like leverage as well. Like when I first started getting into online marketing, I learned about leverage. So your boss, if you're working a job, leverages you to make them money, basically, right? So that's the sort of situation most people could be in, where it works in so many dynamics, right? So we're leveraging the AI to make us money. We're leveraging Google, which has infinite leverage, because you can literally reach, like, you could spend 50
And
grand
you're
a day.
leveraging the money you're spending.
Yeah, you're leveraging the money you're spending, you're leveraging your time,
Mm.
and you're also leveraging these product creators, and the product creators are leveraging you. So it's all like the perfect system. You don't have to deal with any customer service. All you need to do is basically work on the biggest money making angle, which is the marketing. You don't have to worry about the fulfillment, the product creation, the customer service, the delivery. All you're focusing on is the money making aspect, which is making the videos and getting the traffic.
Now, someone, because this can happen with any ad, you could spend $200 and not make a sale. Like, something could be, you may need to change your headline. You may need to change the first, quite often it's just the first 5 seconds. That's often a big part of it. Or you may need to change something else, like an image or something. How long do you let an ad run before you turn it off? How much money would you say for a brand new product you're promoting? When would you go, I need to turn this off and try it a different angle on it?
Well, it can be different for everyone. Depends on the stats. So that's more like, we're going to discuss heaps of that in the course, but to just discuss it here, I think of it, the biggest way to think about it is, let's just say it could be $100, but it could be different depending on how much, what your stats are. What I like to tell people is to test, instead of, like, if you're fishing and you know there's like fish in the lake, if you just throw in one hook, you could be sitting there for one piece of bait. You could be sitting there for like 5 hours, 5 days, not catch anything. So what I like to say is, if you test multiple things, then you have an awareness. And instead of just putting one piece of bait in and not getting any fish, if you put 2 hooks in with 2 pieces of bait, then you can see, hey, this one's catching way more fish than the other. So,
and then move along that line and go, well,
exactly.
This one. So I'll just make up a number here. Let's say someone spent $50 a day promoting it with headline A, and then $50 a day promoting, let's say, I'm just going to make up something. Let's say they're promoting a dog training product. $50 a day with headline A, $50 a day with headline B. One says, who else wants to stop their dog from digging, barking, chewing, and more? The other one says, who else wants a well-trained and obedient dog? And let's say this one here ended up getting no sales for $50, but it had double the click-through rate of this one. So you might go, I'll keep that one running, but I may also have a version of this one where I'm happy with the video, but I might change the headline on the landing page. And now, is that the kind of thing you do? Like you learn from the previous one, and then you use that to go, well, here's what I do over here with that next one, until there comes a point where sales are coming in and clicks are where you like them.
Yeah, so I like to think of it like a Mr. Potato Head, or one of those pivoting things, right? So you've got the 3 steps, right? And knowing that the method works, you just have to rearrange these 3 little steps until you get the right combination. And what I like to tell people is, instead of spending like $500 on one ad, spend 100 on 5, because then you've got more awareness of what's happening, and you can then, it's all about the awareness. So you have the awareness of what's happening, so you can then pivot into one of those 5 passageways, rather than just going, 500 on one, and then you don't really have any awareness of what's going on.
Yeah. So the way I see it, the average person, in order to succeed with this, you have to go in being prepared to spend money to make money. This is not a model for someone on their last dime. Unfortunately, I wish it was, but it's not that kind of model. And I just want to be upfront with everybody. But it is a model for people that are on a medium level of income. If you've got to just, if you've got a couple of $1,000s, and I'm not saying you're going to blow through that, but if you've got a couple of $1,000 that you can go and put into ads, then you've got enough buffer to account for some mistakes. Because what happens if someone, or not mistakes, but someone they keep trying and trying, but the offer itself, it's one of those, for some reason, it's just not quite working. Then you still want to know that you've got enough money to switch to the next offer. So if you spent $400 on one offer, you may not want to spend your next $600 on that offer. You might find by the time you spent $400 on the next, you're away. It's taken off already.
Yeah.
and you're away. And that's probably the worst scenario, isn't it? Where someone spent that much money, because quite often I remember you saying your average student, usually they found success within their first $600 spent, sometimes even 200, but within their first 600 or so generally.
Exactly. And I think it's also really interesting and good to mention that Google, it seems like the smaller the budget you have, the more Google tries to optimize that. So we've noticed that people with smaller budgets can get much higher ROI. Like I was saying with the one student, Ricky, right? So he was break even from his first ever ads. He had never actually went down. And then he just started scaling up. And also discussing the business model of like spending $1 to make $1 to make $2. I mean, ultimately, that's the best way to make money, right? You don't want to be relying on organic traffic or something. You want to be able to put in $1, make $2, put in 500, make 1,000, and so on. And like what Ricky was saying with his affiliate blog is like he spent months and hours a day building articles, listing keywords, doing all this stuff, spending money on it as well to not even have a direct outcome, or he'd have to wait 6 months to get an outcome from that. Where pivoting to this, he said that he's never seen anything as easy. And for most people, I think that's the case, where the way I come from things being taught by Rob and Gary is just the simplest method to make money is like the best method. And so making a video, 30 minutes to make a video, putting in $100, getting a direct outcome, seeing what's working, and then pivoting and changing is like,
and not letting perfection get in the way of good enough. That's not having low standards, by the way. That's saying that for some people, because I know someone that does YouTube ads, and he does actually pretty well, but he will always hire a film crew to come in. He will hire an actor. He'll spend all this money. It's just because he has money from his marketing businesses from the past, because he's done so well. Most people can't afford to do this, but he's probably not accelerating at the same pace that you are, because he takes so damn long to get a video done and out there. And if it doesn't work and he needs to make a change, he's got to like wait till next month till he's got the whole film crew in again to make any changes. That's, that's slow. It's, you never, like, whereas you can go ahead and you can make an edit tonight, you can make an edit tomorrow morning, put up the new video ad without any film crew. Like, there's nothing about that. It's just not that kind of a way of making ads. It's very, very exciting because it's using like artificial, like you say.
And it's also cool as well because with our beta cell group, they didn't even have half the resources that we've got in the course, because throughout the beta cell testing group, we've actually acquired like so many more resources and stuff. And the initial testing phases for everyone, and even us, was like finding the right headlines, landing pages, intros, hooks. But now we've got the script software with the help of you that has like 15 different hooks in there that you can make your whole script, test one hook. If that doesn't give you good enough stats, all you need to do is just select the next hook, put in your thing.
And we're adding more and more as we go as well.
Because it's so simple. It's so easy for us to like just crank out these videos. And I mean, it's crazy to just talk about, like, even seeing the success. It actually blew us out of the water. Like when we first started with the group, we had like two people, me, Keegan, these other guys, some other people, right, going really well, doing like 30K days. And we're like, all right, well, can we replicate that? And then since then, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be showing some of the screenshots, like seeing people go from like 200 to like 1,000 to 5,000 in like 3 days.
I even find it just as inspiring, actually, seeing people that are doing like the way lower numbers, the couple of $2,000 a week kind of guys, that's fantastic. We had one of our joint venture partners that wants to promote the program. He had a go at it. I won't mention his name at the moment, but he was spending $150 a day, making double his money back he only just started this last week. And in this last couple of days, he spent $600 a day and made $1,200 back. A couple of $1,200 days on $600. So he's on his way. But that's just such a short little story. Just so, it's kind of a microcosm of how it starts for somebody. But everyone has to bear in mind that there's no marketing method on the planet that doesn't come with teething issues. And I know that you're talking about how you've pretty much gone through without teething issues, but it can and does happen to some people. So no matter what you do, if you're going to do this model or any other model, you've always got to expect that you're willing to push through if something weird happens. And I don't know what could happen. I'm just saying that if an offer for some reason doesn't convert as well, or you don't quite get that right first 5 seconds and you need to do another edit the next time and the next time, or you've got to, you know, you just got to push through stubborn obstacles, because this is probably the easiest method possible to make money as an affiliate right now. But it's still like nothing is 100, you know, nothing is 100% foolproof. That we're not psychic. We don't know that Google's going to not up their advertising rates or anything like that. What we do know though is that we're probably doing the best method there is for affiliate marketing. What's your thoughts on all that?
Yeah, I like coming from other business models and like talking with a bunch of people, like being the head of this group and orchestrating everyone and helping everyone, like just hearing their stories of coming from XYZ business model, or like, you know, social media marketing agency where they have to deal with 5 clients to make, and all these outsourcing and doing all this stuff to make like $5,000 a month or something, to just seeing like, just opening them up to the reality of like, hey, you can actually make this money this easy. And it's sort of mind boggling to them. Like a lot of these people were seeing people do big numbers and they're like, that's so out of the range of possibility. But they, as you said, launched their first $100 a day ad, they're making $200. So even the lower end people are like, wow, this really works. And then once they see it works, they can see that, hey, the sky's the limit, you know, like they can see all these people over there. And what's cool as well is like you said, there is no business model like this. So the success range, like with most of our case studies, they're all doing huge numbers, right?
You got your own brother into this as well. I should mention, and he said that, I mean, he's doing well, but he's not doing the mammoth numbers. He said he was doing like $5,000 a week, which is $2,500 a week profit, right?
Yeah, and he's even doing,
and he must have just, and he just said it's going up and up, but I think like he's probably too proud to go ask you for money or anyone else for money. He's just using his own money to grow this. He's not even taking a loan. It's just going up. He's starting the snowball. But like I'm impressed. Like you even got your own family member into this, because quite often you find your family members are the ones that, I don't know, like they're skeptical, or they might be a bit like, oh, you know, what's he doing that, and they don't want to get into it. But your brother has obviously ended up being quite keen in the end.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like Lloyd's seen me do other business models and stuff, and he's seen that I was spending a lot of time and hours and struggles and stuff with all these other business models. And then once I found this and he saw that I'm doing less work than ever and making way more money, he's like finally like decided
right, you've done all the testing for me, I'm ready now.
He's tried some other stuff and there's challenges and stuff, but with this, the road bumps are so small. And for anyone out there, like just general advice, like through my entrepreneurial journey, would be like, every failure is like a stepping stone to success. That's like one of the biggest things that stuck with me. And it's so true, because once you have like the belief in a system, and once you see the results, even if you launch an ad and make some money and then it crashes, or you have to test another video, it's like each video you test, each offer you test is just one stepping stone to success. And it's just a matter of taking those steps and taking those actions to find that winner. And then, as we said, like you might test 5 videos and you only have one in your account that you scale up to like 500 a day in sales, or 50,000 a day in sales, as some people say, as some people are doing, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Or you might have one that just has moderate success out of 5, but that's just enough to help fund the next video that you make, or the next iteration, you know, like even if everything's just, you know, you didn't have the start that some people had, you end up finding one video that you can spend $100 on it a day and make 150 back. It's not perfect. It's still giving you $50 a day though. It's given you enough that you go, okay, this is working. This is great. and then you just carry on from there. You make your next video if that one isn't one that you can easily spend more on per day, because sometimes they have decreasing returns if it's not quite right, but it's good enough, you know.
And it's good as well to see a range of different people in our power cell group from like all different, you know, guy from Chile, we got the people crushing it, we got the people doing big numbers and small numbers. And for some of them, not all of them hit their day, like hit a home run, you know.
No,
it's possible, but you know, obviously not everyone hits a home run. But for them to see every day in our group, people posting their success, people posting their small success, people posting their massive success every day, that they know like, hey, you know, some people have hit it massive and they might have started when I did, but I haven't hit it yet, but I can see, oh, look, that guy has got success and so on. Yeah. It's just giving them the motivation to know that it's only a matter of time, really.
Just got to keep remembering, if you're watching this, we're human beings. You're a human being too. We're not superhuman. We don't know, you know, we might only know a few steps more and maybe have a little bit of tech that we've developed that can help do things a bit faster, but you can have access to that if you're keen. So what are some reasons why people should join you then for the workshop and stuff, like, you know, are you on the workshop? I can't remember. You're on the workshop as well as Keegan, or just Keegan?
I may be on it, but I think it's mainly Keegan and Rob, right?
Okay, because, so mainly Keegan and Rob. So why should people join your business partner Keegan and Rob for the workshop coming up? Why? Like, what's a good reason?
It's going to be way more in depth, discussing like exactly what we do. It's going to be showing examples and case studies of our beta cell group, because I think that's really cool, because it's not just us that are crushing it. We've started the beta cell group and we've watched, you know, the first couple people have success, and we expand it to more people. And we basically just run through, like, we've discussed a lot on here, but like it's way more in depth on discussing like the exact details and the exact methods that we're using, as well as I think a big part of it is like discussing how we're like literally leveraging the AI, like we said, you know, super basic things. All we're focusing on is the video and the landing page. And then we're just pushing the traffic to the offers that convert. And yeah, it's going to be really good. And I'm actually so excited to get people in, because at the end of the day, like watching a lot of these people that are invited to the beta cell group, I'd known through Instagram, because I'd been online stuff, and seeing them go from like struggling, or, you know, talking to me about like emotionally, like they're dealing with issues and stuff, and like some business models have failed, to then watching them hit like $1,000 days, to even Francisco in Chile hitting $15,000 a day is like,
yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
You've done incredible there with them, and obviously with your own stuff. Only 22 years old, so it's just the tip of the iceberg, really. It's just the start of the journey, so it's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I want to just recap really quickly the 3-phase strategy. You're the Blue Ocean affiliate. Your three phases. What are they?
Yeah, so high converting video using an AI voice you can make in 30 minutes. A landing page that we've already tested for you, and you just upload the template, and then pushing it to one of many offers that crushes. Like, all you need to do is get the video and the landing page and just funnel the people to this offer that crushes it and converts highly. And then that's basically it. Yeah.
So basically it's a high converting, well, I'll simplify this. It's a video ad. Obviously you've done it in a certain way, but let's say video ad to a landing page that quickly and easily gets a high percentage of people through to the offer itself. So a high converting offer. So video to a page to an offer that converts highly. That's the simplicity of the 3 steps. Yeah. And they're made simple because video is templated and it has artificial software that helps build the video. The script is templated. So the page itself is templated, nice and easy. We already know what works. And then the offers themselves, there are hundreds of offers that are high converting that work super well with this method. So so they're these 3 phases. Okay. I just want to say a big thank you for being on this particular call and sharing everything and all the stories about the different people that are going well, because it's very inspiring. It's important to get inspired by this stuff. And because then you're more likely to take action, people that are listening. And for sharing your 3 phases, I think it's brilliant. You know, and sharing the traffic method and all of that. And I can't wait to have people join your business partner anyway for the call, and hopefully get to meet you and join you in the members area, because obviously you're one of the lead coaches of this particular program. So I want to say a big thanks for putting this together, and 2 being part of this particular call.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man, and I'm glad to be introduced to everyone in your audience and stuff, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the course and crushing it.
All right, take action, everybody. See you next time. Bye for now.